If you could at least, very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I refuse someone like Monica? Why do I feel like Monica killed Sayori? We also don't know what Monica said to Sayori to make her so sad. I guess I should check that out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Drybear. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Okay. And thus marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile? I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back! And I brought a guest with me. Girl one, eh? A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Drybear. ... All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president? No, she's not. Sayori is the vice president. What? We can't just pretend she's not here anymore. What is going on? It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Drybear in a classroom and he decided to come back out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Drybear? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I mean, I meant that, you know? I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Drybear, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? I guess. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror books once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having conversation with a rock. Aha, I expect that from you, Yuri. All this was the way it was before, but there's no Sayori. She's gone. It suits. Oh, is that so? Really? If a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful. It changed the way you look at the world, even for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, what's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. I usually like to write about cute things, don't you? Well, what? What gives you that idea? Well, you left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called No, Don't Say It Out Loud, and give me that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write down your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you even care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share something with me sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities to showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough in order to share hers. ... I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then the next time we will meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide on the low responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to mature the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree with this? Well, Drybear, hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth. It was on my mind this whole time. I never joined this club. Monica says, may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at. I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Drybear. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. Okay, this is new. Maybe because you deleted one of them, Monica? Maybe that's why you don't have enough. You ever think of that? We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one before the festival, ... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation, and besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right, okay, I've decided I'll join. One by one, the girls light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Drybear? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Drybear, I'm so happy we can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time. Okay. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Drybear, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Yes? A dream. I was staying over at my friend's place. There were 4 of us. I drifted off to sleep while everyone was talking and watching TV. In my dream, I was still at my friend's house. The only difference was that there were nails sticking out of the walls everywhere. There was also someone I didn't recognize. The person I didn't recognize told a joke, and everyone laughed. I woke up to the sound of everyone laughing at something that happened on the TV. So the laughing was not part of the dream. It was the noise that woke me up. I wonder who that person was and how they knew to tell a joke at that moment. Okay. Dude, where's Sayori, man? Oh my god. Infallible. Let's just pick everything that goes to Yuri, I guess. Vibrant. Unending. Embrace. Eternity. Ambient. Forgive? Essence. Oh, what the? Whoa! Who just saw her face? Okay. Vivacious. Okay, she seems happy about that. Heartbeat. Unrestrained. Philosophy. Starscape. Extraordinary. Existence. Judgment. Question. Tenacious. Intellectual. Waterfall. What is happening? What is happening? Hi again, Drybear. How did I get to school? How did I get to school? Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Okay. Wait, was I supposed to pick like all the stuff for Sayori even though she's gone? To prove that I love her or something? Like, isn't going to Yuri now that Sayori has been deleted the wrong call? Okay. Thanks for keeping your promise, Drybear. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst in literature when you're not accustomed to it. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Hi. Hey, Natsuki. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. She's in front of the... I can't read, Monica. You're blocking the words. Monica! How did you even leave the... How did... Big mouth for someone who keeps Monclush in the club room? Mm-hmm. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga, and the music is now changing pitch. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back in her seat. I'm sorry, Drybear. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? That's a new line. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Why is the background tilted? Why are we on a slant now? Hello? Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have some interest in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels like right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Ooh. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Ah, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all. You're not vice president! Stop calling yourself that! That I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches in her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so I should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. Why is there a chair in the closet? And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that... Oh, it's not tilted anymore. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Mana to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. What? Yuri's face is already buried in a book? I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet? Why? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages? Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. ... But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter... Where are the other girls? Sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Ah, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Okay. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the difference? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Drybear? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Okay. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets... Oh! Incredibly something? I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. That's... I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's... Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes. Okay, I mean, you don't have to, but... Aha, what are you saying? ... Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah! Yeah! Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. That's... I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the... What? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really... Sorry. I mean, aha. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Ah, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Didn't this happen before? Ah, I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn on a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. Where's Natsuki and Monica? What is happening? It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Look at that smile. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Like her murderous intent? Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling all right? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. All right, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Oh my god. Drybear? Did something happen just now? So as I'm talking here to Monica, I notice in my files that I have a file called Can You Hear Me? There's a little devil inside all of us. Beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality is a writhing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all thrashing to escape the feeble hold of their host, seeping through every little crevice they can find, into their willpower, starving them of all motivation and desire, into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such a deplorable, tangled mess is already present in every single one of them. That's why I choose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot? Dude, that is so messed up. I choose not to blame myself for their actions. Every single one of them. Oh my god, dude. Okay. Any files edited recently? Nope. All right. Let's go, I guess? Question mark? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Ahaha, don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. All right, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while. How do you know? You don't even know where she went. How do you know she's gonna be a while? So I just figured we'd start without her? Is Monica just like systematically getting rid of everyone except for herself? Forcing me to be with her? This is freaky, man. Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Who should I show? Why is Yuri gone? And why are we just moving forward as if that's not a problem? Hello? And why is Monica so easy to just... What? Monica just... Like, Yuri left, and then Monica's like, well, I guess we move forward without her. Okay, Monica's freaky, man. She's orchestrating all of this. Let's talk to Natsuki first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. ... Drybear, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in some effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Nailed it. Painful to think about? ... Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest, I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. That's a new line. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. I kind of, like last time she drove this concept, and this time I drove it for her. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. We've already read this. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, I won't take it away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? I guess we're sharing with Monica. Hi, Drybear. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the Cub, like activities, whatever, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled anyway. Anyway, you want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah! Don't worry, Drybear. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll get past. That's true. I hand Monica a poem. Great job, Drybear. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. That's a new line as well. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Okay, I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.